All right, folks, good morning. All right, let's get started here. All right, so for today's session, Tuesday, October the 8th, we have the following information. 6 a.m., let's start off with 3 a.m., sorry. We had FOMC member Kugler who spoke. 6 a.m., we had NFIB Small Business Index, and 8:30 a.m., we had trade balance. Now, these times should be, let me just double check. Yeah, it should still be in Eastern time. Okay. So for RCMTIPP economic optimism, we don't have an exact time, so it'll come out whenever it does. At 12:45 p.m. Eastern, we'll have FOMC member Bostic speaking. At 4 p.m. Eastern, we'll have FOMC member Collins speaking, and we'll have another FOMC member after that. But nothing really important since these people will be speaking after the market is closed. All right, so although I'm not in Eastern time right now, I'm in Chicago. Everything on here should be on Eastern time. All right, so having said that, let's take a look at the NASDAQ, the QQQ ETF. Now, currently, we are, let's see, oh yeah, of course the market hasn't opened yet. Currently, we're trading higher than where we were yesterday. Uh, the market's slightly higher, and it should be noted that Chinese stocks are down sharply. The Chinese markets declined, I believe, the most since 2008, as hopes of stimulus have basically gone away. So we'll see what happens, but that's the situation there, and it doesn't seem to have had much of an impact on U.S. markets. All right, so taking a look at what's moving today. Let me just use this window instead. All right, so taking a look at what's moving today, yesterday, I meant to say, what we were looking at yesterday, we have the following. So first up, sorry, I just have a less screen space here. First up, I'll go over JD.com. JD.com was bearish, and as you can see, it gapped down huge overnight, but it was bearish during yesterday's session. It was able to reach our target number 2 to the downside of 44.69, traded below there. Uh, Next up, we have Billy, also a Chinese stock, which is also sharply down overnight. Billy was bearish as well, able to reach our target number 2 to the downside 25.06, and then traded below that, slightly below that, not by much. Went down 10% for a day and then came back up. Next up is MSTR, which was able to pass our target number 1 to the upside of 186.93. Reached a high of 191.99 for the session, but that worked out well for us overall. And then that was about it. We did, actually, I should forget about Amazon. Sorry. Amazon was able to trade lower. It did not reach target number 1, however. It only got actually, no, it did. Eventually, it reached target number 1 to the downside, excuse me, of 180.31, but it took a while. Our exit was actually earlier in the move because it started to reverse at the time. All right, so that's about it for what we found. Now, taking a look at the pre-market. Hold on for a second. I just realized that scanner is not running right now. One moment. Where did it go? One second here. I'll have to restart that one. So I was running my scan here for the pre-market. Okay, so we got quite a few stocks. Let's go over them one by one. All right, so first up, I'm not sure if this is a NASDAQ stock or not. Let me just double check. It's not. Okay. So first up is, might be SMCI. Let's see. All right, SMCI currently not up enough. It's only up 5., 49%. So it hasn't gone up enough to qualify. So we'll have to skip that one. Futu is currently down 19.5% on 2.7 million shares. That's a million with a K. Just to be clear, 2.718 is in thousands, but it's actually 2.7 million. So currently trading over $1 per share. So we can go ahead and add that to our pre-market watch list, which I need to find my pre-market watch list. Hold on for a second. There we go. All right. So symbol is FUTU. Okay. So we got that. Next up is, of course, Billy. We already went over a lot of these. Billy's currently down 13.76%, 1.4 million shares traded. So we'll add that to the pre-market watch list. Although most likely none of these Chinese stocks that I'm adding right now will become opportunities for us since they've gapped lower. So unless they move lower, then we won't be looking at them, as we only look for stocks that are gapping and going. So most likely that will not work out. Next is, let's go over JD since I already went over it before. Currently down 8.98%, 2.8 million shares. Again, we'll add it to the list, but most likely this is not going to become an opportunity for us. Hold on for 1 second. All right, good. You guys can still hear me. Just making sure. All right. Next up is ADTX, which is currently up 6.7%, 3.7 million shares traded. It's above $1 per share, and it's NASDAQ listed, of course. So we'll add ADTX to the pre-market watch list. Next up is CETX, it looks like. Let's take a look at that. All right, that is currently down 28.47%, but it's actually under $1 per share right now. It's at 98 cents. I'll put that as a possibility, but obviously this is not one that currently meets our criteria, so we'll have to just take a note of that, and maybe if it's doing better later, we'll take a look at it then. All right, next up is OTRK. That is currently up 68% on 8.1 million shares. It's at least $1 per share as well. So we'll go ahead and add that to OTRK to the pre-market watch list. And of course, TIGR was mentioned, and now we have that on the screen. Currently down 19%, 8.7 million shares, and it's at least $1 per share, so we'll add that. Okay, so having said that, if you guys see any other stocks that meet all four of our criteria, let me know in the chat. I got OTRK and TIGR already. Okay, BPTH is mentioned. Yep, that is currently up about 50%, 24 million shares roughly traded, at least $1 per share. Perfect, so we'll add that. BPTH. And IBG is mentioned. That is currently up 26%, 6.6 million shares, and it's at least $1 per share. Good. So we'll go ahead and add that to the pre-market watch list as well. All right. You guys see any other stocks? Let me know in the chat. We'll take a look at them. So far, we've got Futu, Billy and JD, ADTX, OTRK, TIGR, BPTH, and IBG. Like I said, these Chinese stocks, although they have made big moves, most likely we won't be able to do anything with them unless they continue to sell off. But we'll see. Either way, they're on the list. All right. So looks like we'll wrap up for today's pre-market pulse. Folks, please be sure to like the video. I see we have 10 likes from more than 10 people watching, so please be sure to like the video. And also, if you haven't already, subscribing to the channel. That way you get notifications. And if anyone watches this video on a replay, if you're not familiar with our company, please check out fundertrading.com, our website. You'll see a link in the description to this video. Other than that, for everyone part of the coaching program, I'll see you there in about 27 minutes, and we'll pick up for today's session. Other than that, folks, have a great trading day, and I'll see you for tomorrow's Premarket Pulse. Take care.